Hello and welcome to The Bottom Line on TVP World. This is where we unpack some of the main business and economic stories of the day. I'm your host, Marie Cato. Today we want to talk innovation, but from a different angle. We want to find out what Poland needs to facilitate the transfer of knowledge and best practice between the science and business communities, both domestically and from abroad, to ensure the country can really up its game to that effect. Jan Kennedy tells us more in his feature report.
Over the past few years, Poland has become one of the fastest growing EU economies. But the Central European country still lags behind other member states when it comes to innovation. The top of the European Innovation Index is dominated by Nordic countries, each scoring above 140 points. Poland ranks 23rd, with an index score roughly half that of the leaders, outperforming only Slovakia, Latvia, Bulgaria and Romania. The lackluster transfer of knowledge from research institutions to the business sector is listed by experts as one of the prime reasons behind this underwhelming rank.
It's much more difficult to come up with something really innovative, in terms of academic research discovery and commercializing it. We cannot commercialize our inventions. It's basically giving it away for free to people who are willing to put the money where the invention is.
To challenge the status quo, the government has appointed a 17-member team of experts tasked with overcoming key hurdles in transferring research to business, with findings due by year end.
I think the key priority should be making sure that we have a good process, first for selecting the ideas that need to be funded, second, that we have a good process of selecting people who will be reviewing them.
Many problems stifling innovation in Poland have been clear for years. Let's assume a brilliant invention has been conceived at a university, but to develop it, the academic institution needs a business partner. Together, they could form a spin-off, but how should they divide equity?
You need to be aware that if you insist of having a stake of 30%, the chances that an investor comes and coughs up a significant amount of money to commercialize it are much lower than if you were saying, 5% is enough as long as the cake is growing bigger.
Among other issues cited by experts are inadequate funding for R&D in Poland, risk aversion among local investors, and the relative immaturity of Polish venture capital. All these problems must be solved if the country wants to move up the global technological ladder.
The times have changed, and the direction of a country's economic development is largely dependent on its technological sophistication. This is an area that Poland wants to and needs to focus on. To find out more about how this should be done with the support of the science and business communities, I am joined by Michał Goszczyński, Deputy Head of Innovation and Development Department at the Polish Ministry of Science and Higher Education. Hello, and thank you for joining us today.
Hello.
So, perhaps a basic question to begin with. Has this time of Poland's presidency, always associated with high hopes, been a game changer when it comes to innovating Poland's economy with science and funding of business tech and perhaps the exchange of knowledge in those two areas?
Yes, actually, we're almost at the end of our presidency. But when it comes to research and innovation, I think that we gained what we wanted. We had several events. A few are planned for the upcoming 7 weeks, and we were able to gain exposition of our community to European experts, to talk with European policymakers at various levels, at various topics. And of course, we also had the opportunity to host here the Minister responsible for science for all member countries in March. And this was also a very important time for Polish scientific community.
Was the Warsaw Declaration perhaps an incentive in some way?
Yes, actually, this is a very big success of the Polish presidency, because in March all member states approved the Warsaw Declaration. which aimed at enabling the same level or even increasing the funding possible for entities in all over Europe and of course in Poland as well. And to promote the self-standing framework program for research and innovation, because we had some signs from the European Commission that maybe there won't be a framework program or maybe it will be a part of something bigger. But our scientific community, our ministers of science want a standalone framework program, and this was the main point of Warsaw Declaration.
When it comes to innovation, in the way that Poland is really keen on implementing and developing the sort of transfer and development of knowledge and best practice, especially in the science and business communities, in your opinion, is there a systemic process that is really in place?
We started this process last year under the previous Minister of Science, Mr. Wieczorek, and it's continued right now with the current Minister Kulasek. So last year we created a post of Minister Plenipotentiary for transfer between science and business world, and a group so-called Council for Innovation in Science and Higher Education. And this year, just recently, we created a new team that will supplement the previous group and the plenipotentiary, and to strengthen the technology transfer. So these three entities together will create a recommendation for the changes in our higher education and science system in order to better prepare us for transfer of technology.
So what are these changes?
I don't want to anticipate the work of these two teams, but we see that there are needed some changes in the systemic way, because the atomization of knowledge. So. Right now, the universities and research institutes can work on anything they want, and this is great, and we support that. But at the same time, it sometimes creates a difficulty for people to connect between these entities from different parts of the country, and we will try to create some incentives in order to create partnerships between these universities, between universities and research institutes, between universities and institutes of the Łukasiewicz Research Network.
So are you suggesting that universities should somehow be merged?
Maybe not merge, but cooperate more between themselves. Because people may not know that, for example, in Szczecin, they may not know that research on similar topic is conducted in Krakow. Because, well, we have a lot of universities, we have a lot of research institutes, and a lot of researchers working on all different topics, and this is great. But at the same time, they may not have time to promote their research in order to gain traction in other parts of the country. And of course we have more and more PhD students coming to the ranks of researchers that may be interested in this topic. So we want to create some incentives for the people to work in teams that are not university dependent, but maybe cross-university or some federation of universities.
So you're suggesting more effective collaboration?
Yes, we would want to create a critical mass because from our perspective, this is what is needed for successful transfer of knowledge from the science to business.
So, and then subsequently effective innovation.
Yes. So by creating this critical mass, with working together between researchers from all different backgrounds, of course with their colleagues from abroad in international partnerships as well, it may create a more visible transfer.
If you were to say or name one thing that currently gets in the way, hampers this know-how, shall we say, this flow of best practice, what would you say? What would you list as the number one obstacle?
Of course, funding is one of the main obstacles, I would say. Of course, our Prime Minister and together with Minister of Finance agreed that more and more money is needed in the innovation. But we as the Minister of Science will also have to take into consideration the needs of the individual universities, individual research institutes, and this creates a big task for every element of this puzzle, and to successfully transfer this money that will come to the system in the coming years.
Is there a budget that the government has in mind to boost this process?
Of course, we as the Poland supported the increase of the GDP percentage for research and innovation, and the objective is 3%. Right now we are slightly lower, but hopefully in the coming years we'll be near this mark.
And obviously, the right structures, as we talk right now, are necessary to facilitate this development of exchange of knowledge and best practice within Poland. But what does Poland have to offer, perhaps, educational institutions abroad? Because obviously this exchange of knowledge and best practice, it would be best to facilitate this flow of information with countries in our region, perhaps even further.
We are quite successful in European partnerships within the Horizon Europe program, even more than in the previous framework programs. So we are on a rising trend, I would say. So we see that our researchers are on the excellent level. Some of the projects are really successful, and we would want to see more and more of that, and promote our scientists to work with their colleagues from Europe. So that would be a very important step in the right direction.
Is there a focus on developing business leaders? Because obviously the transfer of knowledge is crucial. Educational collaborations like we've discussed are also important, but it's also very important to ensure that Poland is able to pride itself in business leadership.
I would say that the possibilities that National Center for Research and Innovation gives also to small and medium enterprises to cooperate with a scientific community, with higher education institutions, is also a very good step in this direction that you mentioned. So they may check whether they are able to successfully conduct projects within this framework.
And what about Poland's R&D potential?
I would say it's very high, because we have successful startups already. We even brought two of these startups to this informal meeting of science ministers in March. We had presentations of Vidmo and Clone Enterprises. So these are two examples that are now visible in Europe because of this informal meeting, and people were really surprised how these two companies worked, and what are the products that will be on the market next year created.
There has been criticism of Donald Trump's administration that what they have been doing is actually an assault on science. Do you have any comments on that?
I would say that situation in America is much different under this administration, and we must observe what it will be for the whole scientific community of the world, because the scientists from America are sometimes involved in all different projects all over the world, including cooperation with Poland and European countries. But this also gave an opportunity to think about what we as Europe want in order to be more competitive. And by Europe, I mean also Poland. So this week in Paris, there was a meeting of science ministers that was initiated by President Macron. And together with Ursula von der Leyen, they thought about an idea of a Choose Europe program that would be country neutral. So we welcome scientists of European background from all over the world to come back to Europe and increase the competitiveness of Europe. And in order also to show our current, for example, PhD students or students of the MA or BA even level, that it's worth to stay in Europe and to not wander to Asia, to America, or to South America, for example, if because they can conduct their research here in Europe.
Absolutely. Well, my next question is actually about the French trying to lure the American scientists who might be perhaps disillusioned with the US. Do you think that Poland might be trying to attract some American scientists as well?
Like I said, we would want to be country neutral, so not aimed at America or aimed at South America, Asia, or whatever region of the world. But we, together with this program, Choose Europe, we also are thinking about a similar program at our level to create a possibility or a platform for our scientists or scientists of the Polish background to return back to Poland to conduct research here.
And just as we wrap up, is there a model country perhaps that has successfully innovated its economy that perhaps Poland aspires to right now?
I wouldn't say inspires because all member states are our partners. So we talk with everyone and we gain good practices from all kinds of countries. And sometimes we also offer our good practices as well. But I would say that countries from the like the Nordics would be a very good example how to conduct innovations. And so of course we cooperate with them, our entities cooperate with them, and some elements of their systems are currently analyzed by our ministry and by our partners also to maybe try to see whether it would work similarly here.
Is there something in Denmark perhaps that you think would work well in Poland?
I wouldn't comment on that right now, but Denmark are very close ally right now because they will have the presidency in the EU Council just after us. So when it comes to research and innovation, we're closely cooperating with them right now. So that's why I cannot comment on that.
Okay. All right. Michał Goszczyński, Deputy Head of Innovation and Development Department, the Polish Ministry of Science and Higher Education. Thank you very much for joining us today. And that's it for The Bottom Line today. I was your host, Marie Cato. We're on every weekday at 5:10 CET on TVP World. And in the meantime, for the latest in regional business, follow us on X and on tvpworld.com. And for more news and analysis, stay with us on TVP World. Goodbye.